we was in the chat, right? The chats. We was in the chat, and someone dropped a post, and it was start, cut, bench. I'm not gonna name the other receiver that was involved in this because they just totally X out my man out the
CD.
conversation. Can I finish, sir? Man, you trying to have a tie moment on here. But it was AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, and CD Lamb. And it proceeded, my good friend AJ here was like, hey, I got time today. AJ Brown, number one. And I'm ready to debate about this. Carl jumped in. I'm giving everyone a backstory so that way when this gets going, y'all can understand why I get so heated. And this is also why you need to become a member. Like the video, subscribe. There we go. But Carl jumped in and said, wait, you think AJ Brown is better than Jamar Chase? For the folks that's are fans of this show, you know where I stand with this. I'm not in this. I had nothing to do with this. Okay. I'm going to let you guys take it away. But Dave, you were not in the chat. So I want to ask you first before these two guys go.
Hey, you put me on the spot?
No. Let them do it out first.
First of all, said Tomo. I said he misspelled Chase.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, since you said that, you go first.
Oh, I mean, y'all know my stance. Jamar Chase is different. Jamar Chase, man, not only has he helped change things in Cincinnati since his rookie year, mind you, they've also been to multiple 2 AFC championships since he's been there. They won one, lost one. They've been to the Super Bowl since he's been there. Joe Burrow, I mean, he went 2-7 before he got hurt against the Commanders. Now they won the division back-to-back years, I believe. So, hey, look, Jamar Chase is a big reason in that he can run routes very well. He's an elite route runner, elite getting off the line, getting off the press, very great release. He's a speedy receiver, elusive, but he also can play physical. He can also win a jump ball if you need him to. He has multiple routes in his route tree, like again, elite route running, great hands, great feet, and let's not forget, Tyler Boyd was a 1,000-yard veteran receiver before he took his spot, and T. Higgins' spot, who was the first pick in the second round, who was the number one receiver the year before Chase got there. Chase took both of their number one receiver spots. Deboed them is mine now. Went for 1,400 yards his rookie year, 13 touchdowns. I got some notes. 13 touchdowns, 81 catches on 128 targets. Second year had 87 catches on 134 targets, 1,046 yards, and 9 touchdowns in 12 games. So I understand AJ Brown is a dog. I'm not disrespecting AJ Brown, but my man a dog too, and my man just a better dog right now.
All right, real quick, y'all. Sorry to interrupt y'all. Y'all battle, but somebody has some other words to say. Shout out to J-Mo with the super chat. Tyreek Hill better than both of them.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm not even going to debate Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is special and been special for a while. My thing with Jamar Chase is this, man. We got to be consistent. So we was just talking about how we not going to elevate Jalen Hurts to this level because Jalen Hurts has only done this for a year. I say 2, but for a year he can't be top 5 XYZ. But then Jamar Chase been in the league for 2 years. 2 years. And all of a sudden some people in the chat, I ain't gonna say no names, but some people in the chat saying he the best receiver in the league pretty much. And I just think we need to just pump the brakes. When we look at AJ Brown, I repeated a lot of the same stuff I said in the chat. The thing with AJ Brown is this: when he went to Tennessee, the targets were not quite the same, the receptions were not quite the same as it is now in Philadelphia. In Tennessee, you got Ryan Tannehill throwing the football to you. Now, let me say this. In the chat, I was slandering Ryan Tannehill. I'm not going to do that here. Tannehill is decent. I'm not going to say he's great. I'm not going to say he's bad. He's decent. But there's a clear difference between catching passes from him and catching passes from Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, top 3 quarterback in the league. Tannehill, I'll let y'all rank where y'all think Tannehill is right now or even in years in the past. He's not Joe Burrow. So that's my case with that. On top of that, Jamar Chase simply getting more bites at the apple. The Cincinnati Bengals are a pass-first offense. They throw the ball. It don't matter who's going to be in that backfield. As long as they got Joe Burrow, they're going to throw the football. So by default, Jamar Chase is going to get more opportunities to get yards, to get touchdowns, especially in the red zone. Even now in Philadelphia, A.J. Brown not getting the ball in the red zone like that. Why? because Jalen Hurts rushing for 10 touchdowns in the red zone because they are run first offense, even though they pass the ball a lot. And so there's differences there. First year, 52 receptions, still getting 1,000 yards. I think the 1 year he didn't get 1,000 yards was the 1 year he was hurt. Outside of that, AJ Brown, 70 receptions, 1,000 yards, 63 receptions. That's the year he was hurt, 869 yards, 88 receptions this past year. The first year he's caught 88 passes or anything over 80 passes. His numbers is right there with Ja'Marr Chase this past rookie year. So, like, I've seen AJ Brown do the same exact thing for the most part as Ja'Marr Chase without the same type of weapons at the quarterback position with less opportunities. With less opportunities, he's done the same thing. And again, Ja'Marr Chase has done this for 2 years. No, scratch that. Ja'Marr Chase has done this for 1 year. Because if he didn't show out in that rookie year the way he did, we wouldn't be talking about Ja'Marr Chase in this topic. Because this past year he was straight. He was solid. But I mean, he didn't do nothing this past year that AJ Brown hadn't done on less receptions, targets, and opportunities from a lesser quarterback. So that's how I see it.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in there real quick. If was a fifth, we'd be drunk right now. I'm gonna start off by saying that. Secondly, I'm gonna say you're right. AJ Brown did have an injury year where he played 13 games, but his best year in Tennessee is when he was hurt and played 14 games. So I mean, I don't want to really hear that he was hurt and that's why he didn't get 1,000 yards because he had his best year with 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns in 14 games and 70 catches. That was his best year, right? Cool. I'm glad you brought up Ryan Tannehill because you slandered Ryan Tannehill, and I had Tannehill's back, and I took some notes about Tannehill. I said Tannehill is solid. He's very solid, right? I got my notes right here. Remember, the Titans went with Marcus Mariota 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
He played terrible. Tannehill took over, went 7-4 and 12. I think 8-4 actually. 7-4, 8-4, 12 games, 70% completion percentage, 2,742 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 picks. Then they also made it to the AFC Championship game that year. Lost to Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. It's Mahomes. We already know what that is. Then 2020 comes around. He played 16 games, 66%. It was 65.5, but I rounded up to 66. We all can agree to that, correct?
You got it.
Cool. 3,819 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. Sounds like a great year if you ask me. With Derrick Henry leading the league in rushing, mind you. No denial there.
How many yards did he throw for?
Huh?
How many yards you said he threw for?
3,819.
Okay.
Which 33 touchdowns, 7 picks sounds kind of familiar to Hurts. Hurts has got more rushing touchdowns probably, but it sounds familiar, right or wrong?
They two completely different players.
Wait.
But statistically, going off the numbers, he's right. Continue.
Okay, they went 11-5, and they lost to the Ravens in the first round. Lamar Jackson. Cool. 2021, they lose Derrick Henry week 8, finish 12-5, number 1 in the AFC, lose to the Bengals in the second round. Tannehill has a 67% completion percentage, 3,734 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 picks. Again, solid. But again, best record in the AFC. They just lost to the Bengals who went to the Super Bowl. So, and now last year, after trading AJ Brown, and after he was hurt, he had an ankle injury. He got shut down the last couple games of the season. He actually had the Titans 6-6. He actually had him in a position to win the division before they collapsed while he got hurt. He did, however, have a 65% completion percentage, 2,536 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 6 picks in 12 games. That's not bad. The way that we're slandering Tannehill is, to me, is just not is not really well.
What's the reason why they lost to the Bengals?
That pick to Eli Apple, not Eli Apple, Mike.
How about the 3 picks he threw?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that was a bad playoff game.
So did Tannehill carry them like Hurts? Carry the Eagles?
No, I didn't say he was hurt. I just said he had a statistical similar year.
Go ahead, Joe.
That's all I said.
No, go ahead. I just want to throw it out there.
But all I'm saying and bringing up this stuff about Tannehill is we're slandering Tannehill like he's a bum. Like he's bad. He's solid. He was solid for Tennessee. I understand Derrick Henry was there, but he lost Derrick Henry in 2021 and still had the best record in the AFC. Had the bye week. Bing bang. So, I mean, I understand Tannehill is not Joe Burrow, But Tannehill's not a scrub either. It's not like AJ Brown was making Tannehill. No.
Hold
And
on.
also, I have one more point. He wasn't. And I'm gonna have one more point. This past season, AJ, he was throwing to Traylon Burks, who was in and out the lineup, and Kyle Phillips.
If he was that cold, it wouldn't matter to the extent that it mattered this past season. He was
terrible
this past season.
Diggs, he ain't look good either.
And yet, in his first year, his first 2 years, how many years has Tannehill been in the league? He's been in the league long enough to not be as bad as he was this past year.
They would okay. I'll give you that because it
Tannehill. Listen. Tannehill is not a terrible quarterback. When I brought up Tannehill, it wasn't to say that he's a terrible quarterback, even though I did slander him quite a bit, and I will admit that. But I said that for the most part to say there is a clear, no matter how many numbers you throwing out there, all of that. If you put Joe Burrow there and you put Tannehill there, who you taking? You taking Joe Burrow, you probably taking another 10 quarterbacks. Then you taking Ryan Tannehill, right or wrong?
I said he was top 15. You said I was lying. You said I wasn't wrong. You said I was wrong. Okay, but I said he was top 15.
Okay, so 3 + 10, that's 13. You still probably take another 10 quarterbacks in front of him. Yeah. Okay, so that's my point. There's still a difference. On top of that, the numbers are one thing, but again, the number that you don't want to talk about is arguably the most important number: the targets and the receptions.
No, I brought it up.
That does not change the fact that AJ Brown's still not getting the same number of bites at the apple as Jamar Chase is, because they're a run-first offense. At the end of the day,
I was about to talk about that. So you're right. Both Philly and Tennessee will run first offenses, which means
Philly's a little different. Philly's a little bit more well balanced.
Y'all will run first.
We all run first, and that also helps AJ's case. But they're a little bit more balanced than Tennessee is, because Hurts was out there.
I mean, again, Derrick Henry had 2,000 yards. Tannehill almost had for 4,000. But I digress. Y'all will run first, just like Philly, right? Okay. The difference is hold on. You made me lose my train of thought for a second. I had a point when you cut me off. I lost.
You tried to throw.
No. There you go. Okay, chill. When you're a run first offense, that means teams have to load the box to defend the run first, which means you get way more one-on-ones than you do if you're pass first. And now you have double high safeties, you have rolling coverages, you have all this other stuff, which means he should win his one-on-ones more often than Jamar Chase should. Now, let's talk about
he not to interrupt, but he did. That's why on 52 receptions, on 70 receptions, he was still getting 1,000 yards because he was winning those one-on-ones.
Okay, but he would have more bites at the apple if he would win more than you were saying. Because you're saying this is the only time he got all those targets. But I can say, well, he's playing with his best friend. That's why he's getting all these targets. Because he had 145 targets this year.
He's getting all of these targets now. He's getting all of these targets. And that's a fair point. He's playing with his best friend. Yes, just like Jamar Chase is playing with a quarterback that he played with in college. So, yes, I'll give you that. At the same time, though, damn, I just lost my train of thought, too. You made me lose mine just now. Damn. Say what you was going to say. I just lost my train of thought.
I want to throw out one thing. Hold on. So I see you saying a lot about Joe Burrow and Tannehill, but how do you feel about Jalen Hurts versus Tannehill? Because that's the person who's throwing the ball to AJ Brown. It's not Joe Burrow.
I think with Jalen Hurts, they trust Jalen Hurts to throw the ball a little bit more than Ryan Tannehill. And even though we have a great rushing attack, and we are a run first team for the most part, like I said, the offense is more balanced with Philadelphia opposed to in Tennessee. And Tennessee was all, for the most part, it was about two players. It was about AJ Brown and it was about Derrick Henry. Honestly, truthfully, if we call it a spade, Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee has always been an afterthought. Always. We think about how we gonna stop Derrick Henry and how we gonna stop AJ Brown when it comes to Tennessee. Right or wrong, fellas?
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. That's the honest truth.
It's more so Derrick Henry, but
yeah, I'm about to say.
I mean, so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm getting at. That's all I'm getting at. At the end of the day, the offense was about the running game in Tennessee. It's always been about the running game in Tennessee. And AJ Brown had to do the most with his opportunities at the football. When he caught the football, that's why his rookie season, I think he was leading the league in yards per catch or yards after the catch. Y'all might have to fact check me on that. I don't know for sure. But he was towards the top of the league. That's why he was getting 1,000 yards on less receptions. The man Jamar Chase has caught 80 passes or more both years in his career so far. Even missing the amount of games he just missed, he still caught the ball 80 sometimes. Why? Because they pass first and they make sure Jamar touching the football. Joe Burrow makes sure I'm throwing the ball to Chase. If he out there, he getting the football. That was not the case in Tennessee. It just wasn't the case. Now, again, in Philadelphia, now he has the same kind of luxury that Jamar Chase has. He's playing with a good quarterback, a quarterback that is top 5. I don't care what y'all say, but a quarterback that's top 5 and a quarterback that's making sure he's touching the football in the offense that isn't in an offense that isn't as heavily reliant on the rushing attack. And he exploded this year with the opportunity that he was given to him. So that's my thing. Jamar Chase, he's great. And this is these ain't shots at Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase is great. I think they probably both top 5. I'll have to do my top 5 receiver list. But at the end of the day, we seen AJ Brown do it for a longer period of time. And if we are so focused on consistency, y'all always talk about consistency, then we got to see Jamar Chase get the 1,400 for at least another year. Let's see him do something next year and the year after that.
I got one thing for you. Hold on. I got a comment here because this guy said he watched AJ Brown in Tennessee. So when Vaughn says something about AJ Brown, I'm gonna let this comment come up here because every time you said something about that, I was like, he's a yak receiver. But I'm saying he's a yak receiver.
No, can I jump in?
Go ahead, Joe. I had something to say too after you done.
Let me read the comment.
Go ahead.
Vaughn said, man, AJ Brown was taking 5-yard slants, 80 yards almost every game.
Let me put it like this.
First, though.
Let me say this one thing.
Go ahead,
There's a reason why he was catching 5-yard slants. Because Ryan Tannehill throwing the football. Because Ryan Tannehill throwing the football. That's why. I guarantee in Philly, yes, he still was catching a lot of slants, but it was a whole lot of deep balls in Philly. Pause. It was a whole lot of long passes. He ran a lot more the route tree this year in Philadelphia because the Eagles trust Jalen Hurts to throw the football.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe. Say what you got to say.
Look, both of y'all make good compelling points.
They do. This is very entertaining.
Now, look, this is what I'm getting at. Jamar, see, I feel like when it comes to NFL, we tend to look at what they can do. Like, oh, they can do this, they can do that, versus the production on the field. Because if my memory, I'm not mistaken, Jamar Chase had a slow start last year. He had like a good stretch early in the season last year, and we were like, dang, what happened to the explosiveness he had last year? What happened to the 150-yard gains he had last year? What happened to the 200-yard gains he had last year? Right? It was gains. Matter of fact, I got the numbers right here for you. Y'all remember this vividly. All right. Jamar Chase, he started the season 129 yards. Then he had 54. Then he had 29. Then he had 81. Then he had 50. I remember that stretch. I was like, what's going on with Jamar Chase? But then he had 132. Then, he started to pick it up, towards the end of the season. Now, what AJ is saying is this. Once you gave him a legit quarterback, because I get it, Tannehill, he's okay. But Tannehill is not a great quarterback. Let's relax. I get the numbers, but at the end of the day, Tannehill is never the focus.
I'm not saying he's great.
Huh?
I'm not saying he's great. I think he's solid.
I know you're not. I'm not saying you are, but talking about the numbers, nobody went like no defensive coordinator went in the drawing board and said, man, we got a Tannehill. Man, it was like, man, let's make him throw the ball. That's what we're going to do. We want him to throw the ball. So once he got Jalen Hurts, he had a better season than what Jamar Chase did last year immediately. So when he got Jalen Hurts, he just outdid Jamar Chase. My only thing about A.J. Brown, well, I don't have anything about A.J. Brown. I get what A.J.'s saying. I won't be mad if somebody say he's better than Jamar Chase because we always talk about consistency. You got to do it over and over again. He did not duplicate his rookie year, his second year. And he still had 130-something targets with the injuries and barely made 1,000 yards. So let's talk about that too. He had the same amount of targets almost as Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith had more yards on him.
Hold on. Can I go again? He said that Philly is so run first, right? Miles Sanders had 260 carries. Joe Mixon had 210. Jalen Hurts, who was the quarterback, had 160.
How many P-Ron had?
Who? P-Ron had 95. The next running back for the Eagles had 53.
Okay.
So the Bengals was handing the ball off too. Now, was it as effective as the Eagles? No, it was not. I will not lie to you.
What's your point?
The Bengals was handing the rock off too.
Saying both of their offenses were balanced.
This is the thing.
But he had 3 number 1 receivers.
But that kind of
But if you're running the ball 300 times between two running backs the same as they are in Philly, then you can't use the run first argument because they're both pretty balanced.
No, are they not run first? Let's take away all the extra stuff. What did they do?
I already explained what he did.
It's pros and cons on both sides. Because run first on his side, but yeah, he's playing with 2 number 1 receivers. Like,
okay, and he's playing with 2 number 1 receivers. He's playing with Dallas Goedert, who showed he can be a top 5 tight end, who takes out of the middle of the field. And he's playing with Devontae Smith, who showed he can be a number 1.
Okay, he playing with Joe Burrow.
His tight end is not even on the roster this year.
He playing with Joe Burrow, right? He's playing with Joe Mixon, who was All-Pro, and he's playing with. It. I mean, he was All-Pro, right? He had a game with 5 touchdowns last year. What are you talking about?
So what? This is one game. So okay, so Jamar Chase started the first 5 games with 100-something yards. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what?
You said Jamar started slow, but his first game he had 129 yards. Are we gonna use one game to say somebody didn't slum it? Then what are you talking about that stretch then?
I wanna ask this, and I want to say something. Carl, are the Bengals not a pass first offense?
No, they are, but I'm saying
wait. You said they are a pass first offense, right? Is Ryan Tannehill a mediocre mid-tier quarterback?
He's solid.
So this is the point that this is the point quarterback. This the point that I want to. This the point that I want to get at. For Carl, he's trying to make his case based off of, well, it's still remotely close. Like, he might not be Joe Burrow, but he's solid. They might not be, run first, but they still run the ball a lot. No, the facts with this type of conversation, we always gonna split hairs. It's going to be close, but the facts of the matter are Ryan Tannehill was mid-tier, and the Bengals are a pass-first offense. They do run the ball sometimes as well, but we all know they're a pass-first offense. We all know that. So you trying to try to make the debate about, well, it's close though. At the end of the day, AJ Brown to start his career did not get the same opportunities that Jamar Chase has gotten. He just hasn't. And then the moment he did, he's shown out. That's the facts, bro.
You're misconstruing my points. I've already said that Joe Burrow and Tannehill is not close. But y'all are making it seem like Tannehill is a scrub, and that's not the case. And then again, if I'm listening to your argument, it makes it seem like the Eagles just run, and AJ still did this. But in reality, if you really look, they both were balanced.
Can I say my last thing I would say? Well, first of all, Tannehill is like Jimmy G. All right, it's Jimmy, the same thing.
Solid.
But after saying all that about AJ, if I'm a defensive coordinator and I had AJ and Jamar Chase my team on the other side of the field, I'm putting my number 1 corner on Jamar Chase.
Yep.
I just saying all that.
I would think so.
And I didn't even get to that.
So you said, hold on.
I didn't get to
you saying in that situation, AJ Brown would be your what receiver?
Your why? And I didn't even get to the point of that. Some people argue that in the clutch, the Eagles go to Devontae over AJ. I didn't even get to that point yet.
Hey,
in the clutch, we go to the run. That's what we do. We run the ball.
That's go to Jamar, and it's not even close.
What's the name?
And
Take off. But again, more bites at he get more opportunities, bro. He gets more opportunities.
They're choosing a second-year receiver over an all-pro running back.
But what clutch play did Devontae Smith have last year? I remember having a big play in the game, but was there a clutch play like in the late in the fourth quarter?
We didn't even have that many close games for it to be.
I'm about to say the games weren't really that close.
He would have a turning point of the game type play that that really.
He did actually. If you think about that Dallas game, no, it was Gardner Minshew when Dallas went up. Devontae got open. He scored some crazy play and he got wild.
That was fourth quarter, right?
On the final play of the game, the intended pass was for AJ Brown. Though on the final play of the game, he threw it to AJ in double coverage.
Did he catch it?
And the Super Bowl too.
He couldn't get to the ball.
AJ.
But hold on. See, Joe, it's a lot that's been said right now. It's too much going on right now. Hold on. So let me ask you one question. Last year, Jalen Hurts, right? People would have looked at Jalen Hurts the same way they looked at Tannehill last year. So what you just said, yeah, and going into this season. So what you just said there, Joe, is basically when people were looking at Philadelphia, they were like, well, we can make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, we can win the game. So that's that's a point right there. So that's why most of it kind of was pass first. So basically, AJ Brown left Tennessee to join a green and black Tennessee. They just ain't had Derrick Henry.
You read my mind because I was gonna say Derrick Henry on most teams. Who you picking to stop first? Derrick Henry or the quarterback?
It's always gonna be Derrick Henry.
Exactly.
And if we really want to get really technical with it, because I'm not gonna do it because then I'm gonna have to bring Dak in this.
No,
Derrick Henry, though. I see your face. Derrick Henry.
But with the Eagles, are we worrying about Miles Sanders over AJ Brown and Devontae? No.
But that's why they said make him throw the ball. The idea is not that we're scared of the running back. We just want the quarterback to throw.
I think more so
they're gonna make tough throws.
I think more so you were gonna talk about maybe it wasn't Miles Sanders being the threat, but the threat that you have Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts that can run the ball. I think that's probably what the dangerous thing was about it. But that to me, that kind of, I don't know. I'm good with either one. Whoever one you choose, I'm cool with either one.
Statistically, you could go with the
smart chasing in the day, but I get what you saying, AJ though.
And listen. I'm not saying all this to say that it's no way you should take Jamar Chase. I get both sides of the argument. Jamar Chase a dog. I ain't say all this to say he not a dog. Like he a dog. He top 5 in the league. I'm just saying, just like y'all need to see more for a lot of guys in the NFL, I need to see more from him as well. In order for me to be like, he's better than the guy who has done more, in my opinion, with less. AJ Brown has done more so far in his career with less to work with, on less opportunities.
And he regressed.
What was that?
And he regressed the second year. He went backward.
Exactly. You could attribute that to injury and all of that, but at the end of the day, he still, like you said, came back and still was getting plenty targets and plenty receptions right off the bat because he touched the football. Yeah. And I want to throw this out there because you tried to try to slide this in there, Tomo. No, I don't agree with the Jalen Hurts and Ryan Tannehill comparison because y'all like to gloss over the man's first year as a starter, and I refuse every time it comes up. I refuse. But
Tannehill first year taking over went to the AFC Championship
because he turned the season around. Wait. Ryan Tannehill had AJ Brown and he had Derrick Henry. He had a solid defense with solid coaching, right or wrong. You could take Derrick Henry out of the equation. He had AJ Brown, right?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. He had a solid defense.
I'm pretty sure that was his rookie season.
He had a solid defense, right?
He did for sure. No. I take that back. The coaching made that defense look solid because we all say Tennessee defense should not be as good as they are, but the coaching makes it better.
The coaching is solid.
It helps make my case either way, fellas. So he had, at the end of the day, he had a weapon to throw the football to. He had a solid weapon to throw the football to, a guy who could take a pass 80 yards, like y'all say, 5 yards slant to 80-yard touchdown. He had that.
He only got 3 routes, bro, so you can't get it wrong.
He better than all your receivers, but I digress.
Okay.
He had that. He had a solid defense, and he had great coaching. If you're saying that the coaching elevated the defense to the level that they elevated the defense to. When you look at Philly, everybody see this is the thing I don't like. Everybody talks about how everything is in Jalen Hurts' favor this year, and that's why he had the season that he had for the most part. Not saying y'all, but a lot of people say that he had AJ, he had Devontae, he had the offensive line, all this other stuff. What they failed to realize is before all of that was a thing, it was his first year as a starter where he managed to score 26 touchdowns, only turn the ball over 10 times, lead the team in passing yards, passing touchdowns, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns.
Almost.
And look to the playoffs. I'm not done. That team, and I'm an Eagles fan, that team was projected to win like 4 or 5 games. And the casuals came into this season like, I don't know. Even when you add that talent, I don't know if they're going to be that good. I knew they was going to be that good because I saw the potential in Jalen Hurts throwing great passes to guys like Rhaegar, who couldn't do nothing out there. And that couldn't stop us as a receiving core. So AJ, what he did, his first year as a starter was impressive. I don't care how y'all slice it, bro. He literally carried these guys to the postseason with nobody. Not only bad team, the coaching, rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, rookie defensive coordinator. Fellas, that stuff matters. Look, it matters, bro.
It's going to be funny, though, because no matter how you slice it, I agree with you on that. But I'm telling you, the aspect of the game was people looked at that year and going to this year the same way you are talking about Tannehill. That's all I'm saying. Because I literally watched that playoff game against Tampa Bay where he was out there looking like Mahomes on the one ankle. I said this boy has something.
Tomo, stop it.
Not like actually his play. I'm saying he played on one leg. I forgot technical C in the building, y'all. But look, I watched that game and said the Eagles could win this if he was healthy.
See,
that's
it.
It
wasn't even close to most of it. It got close late.
He started coming back. It
got close late.
But the fact that he's coming back against a Tom Brady who was wanted to win that Super Bowl shows you that the Eagles had something brewing.
That game was
I didn't like it, but look, I can't say it's over.
Look, like Jalen Hurts, I always knew he was a playmaker. I remember the last game of the season when y'all benched him. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Right? I'm not gonna lie. but look though, just like Carl always say about our COVID year, that's how I feel about Jalen Hurts the year before. Every team y'all beat was a bad team, bro. Y'all beat Detroit, y'all beat the Broncos, y'all beat the Saints, y'all beat the Giants twice, y'all beat us twice. Like all the good teams y'all lost to. Y'all lost to the Chargers.
That was my point. That's where I was coming from, AJ. When I jumped in the chat, that's where I was coming from. The difference between Jamar Chase and AJ's first two years. Chase's first 2 years was great. Whether you slice it or not, he didn't have the same yards numbers as far as last year, but he still had 9 touchdowns, missing 5 games.
Compared to
and he still had 87 catches in 12 games. He didn't play. He missed 5 games. I get the yards. I get that point. But look at this year's numbers compared to last year's numbers with Jalen Hurts. It's totally different. It's nowhere near the same. That's why I said that's why you can put Jamar Chase in the top 5. To me, it's a little different for Jalen Hurts because he didn't have 2 great years. He had a good year, okay, good year the year before, and he got into the playoffs. Yes, I agree with that. But Joe also just made a point. Y'all didn't beat a lot of good teams that year. This year, it was without a doubt that you were the best team in the NFC. You beat a lot of good and great teams this year.
And took out a quarterback. Add that in there.
Took out quarterbacks.
But this is the thing.
When we needed him the most, they took that quarterback out.
This is the thing. You could pinpoint, and I'm glad you brought up the Chargers because that's the game that comes to my mind fresh, and even the Kansas City Chiefs game. Our defense was terrible. Them games, Jalen Hurts was showing out. Go back, watch the games.
The Chiefs defense was terrible too, though.
I mean, okay, the Chargers game. Like Jalen Hurts showed in moments where the team needed him. He showed up and he showed out. It was the defense letting them down. It was guys like Rager dropping passes letting them down. It was play calling. Jalen don't escape all criticism though, because he definitely has some bad moments. The game against Dallas, oh my God, that was horrendous. But again, a part of that is on play calling. We gave the ball to Miles Sanders 2 times. 2 times. Yeah. Like that's a rookie head coach. That's a rookie play caller. Like again, all of that. And keep in mind, it's Jalen Hurts' first year as a starter. So that's all that's why I put Jalen Hurts at that level, because I believe if you take the Eagles fan out of it, the Eagles bias out of it, I believe that he showed enough in that first year as a starter for me as a fan to be like, no, we got something. I knew we had something. I knew, we got something. I felt like we had something before we added AJ Brown. We're gonna be nice this upcoming year because I think Jalen is gonna take yet another step. Play calling should be a little bit better. You know, the coaches, they have a little bit more experience under their belt. I felt like we added some pieces on defense. I feel like we was naturally going to be better even without AJ. AJ obviously heightened us to another level, but Jalen Hurts was going to ball out with or without AJ this past year. I truly believe that.
Look, I think we went further and further away from the debate, and I was trying to get back to the debate. But what I was going to say is,
hold on, Carl, hold on. Let me set the table right quick. So this is our final words. So I'm gonna let you get your final word on this debate, on where you stand with this. AJ, you gonna get yours, and then we're gonna close this out. All right.
So again, like Dave was saying, Jamar 12 games had 9 touchdowns. AJ had 10 and 17. Jamar had 87 catches. Your man had 88. Jamar had 134 targets. Your man had 145. Now the next guy on the Bengals is T. Higgins with 109 targets. The next guy on your team is Devontae Smith, I think, with 136. So y'all were pretty pass heavy too. So let's not get that misconstrued, because Tyler Boyd was third with 82, and I think Dallas Goedert was third. He was third with 55. That's the tight end and a receiver. It's not close, but it's close enough between the tight end and the receiver. All right, and then so let's go to the playoffs, because Jamar Chase had 30 catches in the playoffs, for 220 yards. I think I remember seeing.
Don't go playoffs.
No,
Don't go playoffs.
20 catches, on 28 targets for 220 yards. AJ Brown.
I think yeah,
So I
like
don't
10
remember
catches the
Jalen.
whole playoffs.
Huh?
I think he had like 10 receptions the entire their playoff run.
Cool.
He had
AJ.
he had 13.
There you go. See?
13 catches on 22 targets. I gotta hold on. Give me 1 second.
See, Carl, you can't do the playoff run because they was cleaning teams up on that run, so they really didn't have to throw the ball.
But it wasn't because of the pass; it was because of the run.
Okay.
That's
I see
fair.
your point there.
That's fair.
All right, y'all. Look, because of time, we normally do like last words, something like that.
Can I get this last? I just want to get this last one off. The first 2 games, he had 50 yards combined. Then the Super Bowl, he exploded for 96. Now go ahead.
All right, so y'all get like a 30-second last words.
I'm done.
First of all, I appreciate y'all for coming on.
Yeah.
And everything. So this gets, we over the time limit for a good reason. So to get like a last 30 seconds, the last word for y'all. And AJ, talk about what you got going on.
Oh yeah. Well, first thing I want to say is, first off, appreciate y'all having me. I always love coming on the show. I'm always down to come on the show whenever. I think the fact that Ja'Marr Chase missed as many games as he missed and still caught 80-something passes really kind of helps prove my point. Like, no matter what, he makes sure he gets his targets and his receptions. Not to take away from how great he is, because he's a great player. We understand all that. But at the same time, I'm rolling with AJ Brown because he has done more with less throughout his career. That's all I got to say about that. Go AJ Brown. Go Eagles. Y'all can follow me on IG. Y'all know what it is, AJ2K. I work for ESPN Radio. We actually about to do a podcast in like 15 minutes called Taxi Squad. Link is in my bio. I actually also have a podcast that streams over the radio, 105theblock.com, or is it the Block 105? It's the Block105.com. I would love to have all y'all on one of these days for the show. It's an hour-long show, just similar to this one, so we'd love to have y'all on that at some point. All the links are in my bio, but thank y'all for having me on. Go Lakers, fly Eagles, fly.
Let's get it. We down to come on whenever. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Carl, you say no words for you?
My bad.
Flexing that hat.
My computer went black for a second. Appreciate y'all for having me. As always got to start off with saying that. My final words about the debate was basically in the playoffs as well. AJ had 15 catches on 22 yards for 200. 197, I rounded up. Ja'Marr had 20 on 28 for 220. Again, that's because AJ exploded in the Super Bowl, which, kudos to that. And I'm going with Ja'Marr Chase. He's a dog to me. He's top 5. He's just different. You can tell in his play. And this is a division rival, so it sucks for me to say this because I got to go against him twice a year. But
look at me. I'm over here talking about Chase.
But again, like I said, appreciate y'all for having me. Great debate, AJ. I ain't got nothing crazy to promote, man. I'm just, whenever I'm on the show, I'm on the show.
Let's get it. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll definitely get both of y'all back on. Very, 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 very few. Let's get it. There y'all go. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.